Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the first video in a series of videos covering siege battles. And frankly, let's be fair, the ways that siege battles CA did them right in Warhammer 3, but frankly considering how many other Total War games they had to work with before and gave clear examples how to do siege battles right, it's not like they did a bunch of improvements, okay? I'm going to call them out on this. There are things in what I'm about to show you that are amazing, or at least good, or how they should be, but they clearly screwed up on a bunch of things, and we're going to cover that. So this one is one of the better cities for a siege battle, even though it has issues. Like the fact that there is no coverage from a tower right here, or over on this side, you've got no coverage on the far end either. It's like, why would you not do that? In reality, you should really have a siege tower right here as well, covering this area so you got some crossfire going. It just makes sense. In fact, they had more of that in Warhammer 2, even though the cities were smaller, understandable. But they screwed up in some of those as well. Now, another thing that's a negative is, like, here's a dockable point, okay? It's supposed to improve your... Originally, they said it's supposed to improve the range if they're on a dockable section for range units. This is only okay, and you gotta look closely, if you are firing at something right across the wall there or flying. They cannot shoot down because they do not have line of sight. That it's not close enough where they can lean over and shoot down. It's just not there. Really, ideally, this is a battle, by the way, if I didn't say, where I'm playing the defender. Alright, this is a multiplayer campaign battle where I'm the Demons of Chaos. And you see I've got some soul grinders from Nurgle, so they can just shoot over, lob a bunch of stuff over. My buddy is playing as the dwarves, and he's got more men coming. And this is the other thing. Any siege battle, you should always have the defender outnumbered to even have a chance of winning a siege battle. It should not be easy to get in. All right. So, a negative and a positive, but mostly a negative there, and then negatives over there. This side is not bad because you can see how you've got two towers over here and you've got towers here. So they have cross fire. It's covered. Okay. One big thing, it's more an issue if you have a lot of flyers. The fact that there's no coverage here, if you've got good flyers and casters, you're just going to go right over this, ignore all this crap, and just blow them up. It makes no sense that these would not be covered and be allowed to be manned. Alright, it's just stupid. Let's let it play out for just a few minutes to see how this goes. And you can get a look at how a siege battle is done. Again, he came in with organ guns, which is good on him. One thing that I do wish they would change when you actually take control of it, it should change, alright? There should be a different map for if it's controlled by demons or dwarves, for Pete's sakes. And the fire from the towers should reflect who's controlling it, which is something I'm fairly certain they originally said was going to be a thing all the way back in Warhammer 1, but not so much. So let's see, we went out there with our little Vanguard units to slow them down, because that's another thing. In all the other Total War games, you did not start so close. Like, you should not be starting halfway in or even a third of the way into the enemy's towers already. You should have to start all the way back here. There should be more room here for them to be back here, so they have to march through the entire range. Why on earth would any defenders let you get close enough before they start shooting? It doesn't make sense. I shouldn't have to sacrifice so many units out in the front just to slow you down, but it's still a good tactic. Keep you out there longer, do some spawn-in units to attack his organ guns, which is what I did. There is another set of reinforcements that he's got that's coming in from this whole point, which is why, again, I made sure to keep that crossfire covered. And then later, if you've got good tower placement, which this one actually does for the most part, for towers that you can build, like you build a level 3, which I do later, lob it over here. Alright, we're going to speed it up a little bit so I can show off some of the better points of this one. Like I said, this is one of the better sieges when it comes to capitals, for sure. As you can see, I'm making heavy use of my magic. But you shouldn't have to go out there and sacrifice a bunch of guys outward. Yeah, and see his boys are coming in, and now I'm going to have to do the same thing because they start right there. See that? They start past the line. Look at that. They come in before, or they don't start out on the other side. Just infuriating. But I did love this fight. It was a good one, and obviously it's better if you're playing against a person, because the AI is absolutely stupid when it comes to this. I guarantee it would have been a much easier fight if I was fighting the AI. And like I said, I still got those boys shooting over there. I got that level 3 building. These guys are ready for when his reinforcements come around. And yeah, we're still spawning. I've been trying to get rid of the organ guns. Poor little soul grinder from Slaanesh doing what she can. Not a lot there. Poor dragon ogres. But we're going to speed up again so you can see, again, one of the good points. Them having to come up through here. This is one of the better designs here. These boys are out of that ammunition. See what I'm saying? They're let's see you. Come on. Yeah. They don't really have the line of sight that they're saying they should, which I noticed after a bit and then moved them. So they got to be way out there to be fired upon. Speed it back up. One of the reasons it's been taking a while to get these videos out that I wanted is I was trying to find multiple capitals from different factions so I could show them off, good and the bad. But yeah, see, he's coming in. He's got to march up and around through 2 sections here. You got a tower here. You can build another tower here. I've got this one going. So you have multiple lines of access where they can see and shoot. And then you've got this one. It can lob them over. And this is a great choke point. Yeah, I'm sacrificing the guns, which I stole from him because they're his. I stole from him through this Slaanesh ability, one of the few good things about that. But he's trying to make sure all his guys get in, or at least most of them first, before he commits them to try and get over. And I'm trying to keep my mage alive. Now I gotta commit the soul grinders a little bit. Move them in just to knock them back. But see, he's got some flyers, and honestly, they're the toughest part about this, being able to keep them busy. But he did a really good job of keeping them away from my Furies and my towers. But now he's committing some troops, and they got to slog their way up here. But we're waiting. I see. Just gonna... We can get a couple units, buy you a few seconds, get some shots in there. Sometimes the towers do more harm than good, but it still slows them down. Alright, let's speed it up again. While he's getting in position, I will show off up here a little bit. This is not bad, but again, this is a fail as well. It's like, why can you not put a barricade here as well? And why can I not put any towers over here? There should be towers allowed to go here. You only have 2. This is... It says there's a tower location, which is all the way in the back. No, there should be towers on both sides or in the front, for Pete's sakes. Alright, now see, he's all bunched up. Soul Grinders are fully committed, trying to hold him back. Trying to harass his flyers, keep them down. If he had gyro bombers, I think it would have gone differently. Or at least it would have been a lot harder. So, this is really just a tip for any army. Always try to have at least one spellcaster in there if you can. Even if it's just a few spells. Alright? Anything that can give buffs or do some nice AoE if you get lucky and you're in a choke point. But if I'm going to leave somebody in a capital to defend it while I'm leveling it up, there's going to be a caster. There's going to be a darn good caster with either slowing spells, buffs, debuffs, or some wonderful AoE. Yeah, see, that one coming back over, right into him. It's just a great choke point. Now, if he had committed over here, he would have only had 2 ways to go in, which also would have been bad for him. This thing, honestly, based on the line of sight, might have worked out better for shooting on the tower or on the walls, but it would have been bad. Oh, my apologies, guys. I totally forgot to point that out, yeah. This is another fail that makes no sense. Towers. Not towers, sorry. Ladders. Magic butt ladders that just come out of everybody. No, you used to have to build them, which makes sense. You'd make them in the siege. Your guys had to carry them, which slowed them down. If you wanted archers to be carrying ladders, or if you had to because you mostly had archers or range units or what have you, they couldn't fire. They couldn't run and fire because they were carrying a ladder. Now we just have these just magic ladders that we can just all pull out of our rear when we want to. Alright, whatever. Fine, be that way. Just, it doesn't make sense. So, main things, if you got walls, there need to be towers covering every section. That's just logical. You wouldn't build a giant, you wouldn't go through the effort of building a fortress without having your walls covered. Okay? If you're going to have multiple layers, you need to make sure the line of sight is appropriate. And you should be always allowed to put barricades wherever the same hue you want. You shouldn't just not be allowed to put some in certain places. Or not even barricades in some cases. Like if you want to, like that empty spot up here. Totally makes sense. Barricade, barricade, and then put the little altar there that gives you the morale buff and the damage increase. There definitely should be more than one tower placement for your main victory location. Come on. Alright, you've got this victory location right here. 2 barricades, a tower. Which this tower doesn't even, you can't even really do a lot of firing until they get in. So really you should be able to have like maybe a tower here or a tower here. You should have more than one. So we'll speed up. And this was a brutal fight. It was a good fight. Another reason I saved it, because I do like watching it. I've watched it a couple of times to learn from my mistakes. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you have any questions, comments, you know, good or bad, if you have anything that, you know, you would like to see in the future, let me know. Hopefully I'll have the next video out soon. Have a good day, guys.